Harry is trying to create more problems between Prince William and King Charles, and I truly believe this.
William was right that Harry cannot keep his goddamn mouth shut.
Good evening, Your Majesties. Good evening, Windsor.
I don't think he's an asset to the family. I believe he's a threat.
The moment no one thought would come has finally arrived. Prince William, the calm heir, the steady hand, the one who always kept his cool, has snapped.
Harry doesn't have intentions that are going to benefit the royal family.
And the fallout could shake the monarchy to its very core. For years, William has watched Harry and Meghan turn royal life into spectacle. The Oprah sit-down, the Netflix bombshell, the endless podcast revelations. He stayed silent while his brother threw punches from across the Atlantic. But insiders now whisper that William isn't just done. He's ready to strike back. And there's so much to unpack here. So hit subscribe to lock into the community, because we're going from a secret family summit at Balmoral where William laid down the law to a ruthless 3-step master plan designed to erase Harry and Meghan's influence, to the way this move could cement William as both savior of the monarchy and the coldest strategist it's ever seen.
Going into the criticism of William for carrying out less numbers of engagements than his father. We don't need you, Prince Harry.
But apparently for me, that doesn't matter.
This isn't just a family feud anymore. This is a dynasty fight. And if what we're hearing is true, William's shocking move could be the most decisive break in royal history. Once upon a time, William and Harry were the royal brothers the world adored. They carried Diana's legacy together, shoulder to shoulder, walking behind her coffin as boys, and later presenting a united front into adulthood. For years, William played the role of patient elder brother, tolerating Harry's rebellious streak while keeping the bond alive. But insiders say that patience has finally run out. The tipping point wasn't just Meghan or even Harry's move to California. It was the way the Sussexes turned private family matters into public ammunition. Every interview, every documentary, every podcast episode, Harry wasn't just speaking his truth. He was rewriting the royal story, often at William's expense. To the heir, this wasn't brotherly banter or family grievance anymore. It was sabotage. Sources close to the palace say William began to see Harry less as a sibling and more as a direct threat to the stability of the crown. And that's when everything shifted. What started as a feud between brothers evolved into something far more dangerous, a contest over the monarchy's survival. And William, who has spent his entire life preparing for the throne, was never going to let Harry derail the dynasty. The Netflix deal was meant to be Harry and Meghan's crowning achievement, a multi-million-dollar partnership that gave them the platform to tell their story on their own terms. But for William, it was the moment the feud crossed a line. The 6-part series didn't just highlight the Sussexes' struggles. It cast William and Kate in a cold, almost villainous light, the stiff royals who failed to protect Harry, the family who allegedly fed stories to the press. For viewers around the world, it was gripping television. For William, it was personal betrayal. Behind closed doors, royal aides say William was furious at how the monarchy was portrayed. Years of carefully guarded privacy were undone in a matter of episodes, leaving him to deal with the fallout in the British press and the court of public opinion. What made it worse was that Harry knew exactly what he was doing. The narrative wasn't careless, it was crafted.
The feud between William and Harry is as bitter as ever.
That series marked William's breaking point. It wasn't just that his brother had stepped away from royal life. He was now monetizing the very institution William was sworn to protect. To William, this was no longer a sibling rift. It was an attack on the foundation of the monarchy itself. When the pressure became impossible to ignore, the royals gathered in private at Balmoral. No aides, no press, no official minutes. Just Charles, Camilla, William, and Kate, a survival council away from prying eyes. Insiders whisper it was William who dominated the room. For years, he had played the role of patient mediator, urging caution whenever Harry and Meghan stirred headlines. But this time, he came armed with a plan. The mood was tense, almost icy. Charles, still torn between fatherly loyalty and kingly duty, was expecting another debate about reconciliation. Instead, William delivered an ultimatum. Either the monarchy acted decisively to neutralize the Sussex problem, or it risked being dragged down by them indefinitely. Even Camilla, known for her steely composure, was said to be taken aback by the firmness in William's tone, and Kate, usually the quiet presence in these moments, backed her husband completely. The message was clear. William was no longer willing to wait for Harry to burn out on his own. The monarchy needed a strategy, and he was ready to lead it. What stunned the room at Balmoral wasn't just William's tone, it was the precision of his plan. This wasn't emotion speaking, it was strategy. According to insiders, William unveiled a 3-step blueprint designed to shrink Harry and Meghan's relevance until there was nothing left to feed on. Step 1. Strip the prestige. Without the titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex, their brand loses the royal sheen that makes Hollywood return their calls. William argued that prestige, not personality, was their true currency, and removing it would cut them off at the source. Step 2. Shut the doors. No royal invites, no balcony appearances, no access to Windsor or Sandringham. By freezing them out of family optics, William ensures they can't use royal imagery to boost their projects abroad. Step 3. Starve the story. The plan's coldest element: deny Harry and Meghan the drama they thrive on. Starve them of oxygen until the world loses interest, leaving them with nothing but dwindling deals and fading influence. Those inside the summit say it was chilling, not because it was cruel, but because it was so businesslike. William had stopped seeing Harry as a brother. He now viewed him as a liability to be managed. If William's plan hits anyone the hardest, it's Meghan. Hollywood bought into the Sussexes not just because of their story, but because of their titles. Duke and Duchess of Sussex carried weight. It opened doors, secured meetings, and elevated them above the swarm of celebrity hopefuls. But without that royal mystique, Meghan's brand weakens fast. Insiders note how projects have already begun to falter. Spotify pulled the plug on her podcast after just 1 season, calling the results underwhelming. Netflix, though still tied to the couple, has cooled on big-budget collaborations. And the speaking circuit, once a goldmine, is far less lucrative without the shine of royal proximity. For Meghan, who has carefully crafted her image as half Hollywood, half royal, this is the nightmare scenario. Stripped of royal prestige, she risks becoming just another former actress with a controversial reputation. And in an industry that thrives on relevance, fading into the background is the one fate she can't afford.
They know that once King William is King William, that they're done, that they're completely cut off.
William's plan, then, isn't just about sidelining his brother. It's about cutting off Meghan's ability to spin the royal connection into lasting influence. And that's why insiders say Hollywood itself is starting to watch nervously, because without the royal titles, the Sussex story may lose its sparkle. For decades, Charles played the role of reluctant peacemaker, the father who still hoped his sons could find common ground. Even after Harry's memoir painted him as cold and distant, Charles leaned toward reconciliation. A handshake here, a quiet meeting there, always leaving the door cracked open. But insiders say the Balmoral summit marked a turning point. Faced with William's ultimatum and the clarity of his 3-step plan, Charles realized the cost of indecision. The monarchy could no longer afford to juggle sentiment and survival. In the days that followed, aides noticed a shift. The softer tone disappeared. Public gestures of outreach toward Harry and Meghan faded. Charles, who once bent over backwards to keep family ties intact, aligned himself with William's hard line. To observers inside the palace, it was the moment Charles fully transitioned from father to king. By standing with William, he sent a signal. The monarchy comes first, even if it means sacrificing his younger son. For Harry and Meghan, this was the clearest sign yet that the family door was no longer ajar. The king had chosen his heir and left his spare out in the cold. For all the talk of Harry's exile, palace insiders whisper that William's real target has always been Meghan. She's the figure many in the firm blame for pulling Harry away, the architect of his California rebellion. And William's 3-step plan strikes at the very foundation of her influence. Meghan built her brand around the Duchess title, the glamorous bridge between Hollywood and Windsor. It was the golden ticket that transformed her from actress to global icon. Without it, the halo fades, invitations become rarer, deals shrink, the aura of royal mystique evaporates. What makes this sting even more is timing. Meghan's second act in Hollywood has already faced turbulence. Spotify walked away, Netflix dialed back, and critics question whether she can stand on her own without royal oxygen. William's strategy doesn't just expose that weakness, it accelerates it. And so the Meghan factor becomes the heart of the feud. Harry loses family ties, but Meghan risks losing the brand she's spent years building. And if William succeeds, the Duchess title, once her shield and crown, could become nothing more than a memory. The divide between William and Harry has never been sharper. On one side stands William, the heir who has shed his image as the patient older brother and embraced the role of ruthless strategist. He isn't waiting for Harry's missteps to fade on their own. He's actively working to erase them, piece by piece, with a plan designed to protect the monarchy at any cost. On the other side is Harry, the spare, who once had the world's sympathy but now faces dwindling deals, growing public fatigue, and the slow realization that the family door is no longer open. Without William's support and with Charles firmly aligned to the heir, Harry's future feels more isolated than ever. Insiders say the irony is striking. William, long seen as steady but dull, is suddenly the one shaping the monarchy's destiny. Harry, once the charismatic favorite, now risks fading into the background as a cautionary tale. And that's what makes this moment so explosive. The feud is no longer about personal grievances or old wounds. It's dynasty versus disruption, heir versus exile, and the winner could determine the future of the monarchy itself. William's shocking move has changed the game. What began as a family feud has escalated into a cold, calculated strategy to protect the monarchy, even if it means sacrificing his brother. The heir who once stood silent is now leading the charge, and the fallout will echo for years. And there's so much to unpack here still. Did William save the monarchy by acting decisively? Or did he doom his family by drawing a line that can never be crossed? For Harry and Meghan, the walls are closing in. For Charles, the choice has been made. And for William, the image of the ruthless heir may stick with him forever. One thing is certain, the royal family we once knew is gone. In its place stands a dynasty at war with itself, and only one side can win. This is Hollywood Daily Reports. Subscribe now because the next royal twist could drop at any moment and you'll want to be the first to know.